Brown guy with tattoos. I think I'm covered. We're looking for a brown guy with tattoos. Perfect.
Is that the AK day?
That was the AK day. So
Chest blasted?
chest. He just what?
How about this? We'll give something for the listeners. All right.
Dude, if people understood that they can get slapped at any fucking point in time, they would legitimately shut the fuck up. Fucking take the labels off of this shit. They want to drink the bleach, drink the bleach. So day drinking, and then and I was like,
I caught that. I'm like, motherfucker! It's 11.
We're at
It's
work.
11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Work at least.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Too, but I was like, yes.
Now it's time for you to talk about Blood Dick.
Right.
Why the fuck were you guys talking about that before the fucking episode? Hashtag Blood Dick.
So awesome.
Listen. Welcome to the Covert Standard.
That's why I didn't say it.
Whoa. What's going on, people? That's right. This is the only part that I'm good at.
It's the intro.
The intro and then the outro. That's it. I
Don't fuck this up. This is your moment to shine.
That's right. You have tuned into the Covert Standard once again. Your most awesome favorite show of all time. Number one in all the hit ratings in our book. Our moms say that we're great. That's about it.
That's all that matters.
Going to get the sponsor knocked out of the way at the beginning is Stone Cold Works at stonecoldworks.com. Your place that you need to go to get your weapons Cerakoted. Actually, just about anything. He does much more than weapons, but because we are 2A advocates and we like to do this, we like guns, we like to shoot guns, we like to make things pretty. If you have a regular standard issued Glock 19 at the house, you want to get it painted and Gucci'd out, if you will, go ahead and send it to Stone Cold Works, and he will do it for you. Let him know that Covert Standard sent you, and he'll hook you up.
If you live in the area, too, go up and see him. He's got some stuff, too.
He's got
stuff
some
for sale,
pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
The guy's pretty good, man. He's self-taught, right? Yeah, self-taught, kind of self-taught.
I guess.
I think so.
Kind of self-taught, but
I
yeah.
don't know that. I mean, you can go get certified at Cerakote's headquarters, but you're probably not very good if that's the only experience you have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like taking an online course to become a barber, because that's a thing.
No, there's nothing wrong going to wherever the fuck it is. I don't remember.
There?
Yes.
That
Not
place?
Washington. The place that's close to Washington, but not Washington.
Oregon?
Were you about to say Virginia?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he was.
I thought-
He was like in D.C.
I was thinking you were talking
That
about
place
DC.
right outside Washington, Virginia.
Virginia? Like,
Come on, Fred.
Yeah, going up to fucking Oregon and certifying, it's not going to mean much if you don't have any practice.
I heard
coding.
you could also get certified in becoming Antifa if you go to Oregon too.
No, because you can claim to be 100% Antifa, kill somebody, get murdered by the cops because you tried to have a shootout with them, and then have all the leftist media say that you weren't officially part of the Antifa.
Huh.
That's a true story.
That's
What
how we
story
do
is
it.
that?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, it's basically legitimately what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically take down all of the infrastructure by lying about everything, which wow.
So I can't remember the
shocker.
guy. I don't really bother to remember him, but there was a gentleman. Do you know what Patriot Prayer is?
Yes.
So they had a pro-Trump rally in Portland, and after the rally, later in the evening, two Antifa guys were stalking one of the guys that's part of Patriot Prayer.
That.
And
Okay.
then when they're like, "We got a Trump supporter over here," and then they shoot him.
Yep.
That was like they
That was a
stalked
hit.
him.
That was 100% a hit.
Killed him.
Yep.
He got an interview through Vice later.
I remember that.
And said he's 100% anti-fascist. And so some media outlets have been trying to say, see, he said he was anti-fascist, not Antifa, even though
What the fuck does Antifa stand for?
in all his social media he said that he's Antifa 100%.
They're
as
trying
well
to-
as he's been arrested with Antifa doing Antifa things about 5 times already.
They're I don't man. There's so many
I'm
words.
waiting to see what kind of like body cam footage or anything that's produced. Apparently, the U.S. Marshals tried to make an arrest, and he came out of the vehicle with a gun. That's all the marshals have announced.
That's what you want to do.
Eyewitnesses are saying that he shot at the cops, but either way, he got shot immediately and died.
Oh, surprise.
So,
Probably don't want to go to jail.
Are they going to write
Being
over
a
that
member
one
of
too?
Antifa.
oh, I watched the clips of TYT, the Young Turks Network.
Jesus Christ.
Talk about like how all the right wing people should be up in arms because that was clearly a self defense killing in Portland because of the
Didn't he
thing.
walk up behind the guy and shoot him?
Yeah, that guy that murdered. Fuck that guy, right? That's what basically they're saying. No,
Was
he
there
doesn't
even
matter.
a fight? Was
What-
there even like a...
Because of the fucking Kevin? What's that? Rat?
Yeah, that's different though.
No, it's totally the same.
Oh,
and if you
fuck
see,
you.
and if you
Only
see it's
one can have an
different,
opinion, not the
then
other.
you're a hypocrite.
No, it's different. It's very much different.
It's fucking stupid.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm annoyed by the... I don't like the extreme reactions you see from the groups. So, like that happens, and like people on the right are immediately, that guy's a saint. He's a hero. And they put him up on a pedestal. Like, certain things that I see, the people trying to argue that it was self-defense go way fucking far with it when it could just be, well, it's self-defense. We can leave
Right.
it here. And then the counter to that where, he's a potential mass shooter.
Mhm.
This could have been another school shooter. What are you guys praising him for? And there's two extremes where you're like, guys, like, haven't we learned by now, like, most of this shit's, like, right in between? Was he a perfect kid? Nah, probably not. But was that self-defense? Yeah, fucking looked like it.
Black and white.
Yeah. No, there's fucking areas of gray.
That one's pretty black and white, though. Like, I'm reserving the Portland thing because, like, apparently there's like a bunch of security cam footage that shows that he stalked him and then
There's
went
actual,
up and murdered him.
there's
But I
footage
saw,
from a
like-
guy recording it.
Oh yeah,
And they're pointing out, so this is them talking, this is them heading out, this is them setting up the box.
the only thing I saw was someone recording from like across the street. That
I
was
saw the
grainy
same
ass
thing.
Dark
Yeah, yeah.
footage.
That's-
That was like,
Someone had
we got a
edited that.
transport over here,
And then shot him.
Boom.
And then-
That's what I saw.
and then ran away.
Which is
Yeah.
really like, I haven't seen shit.
And
That
then-
didn't show me anything.
Isn't that the one where the car ran up pretending like they were helping medical or something?
I don't know.
Like they were supposed
I
to be a
don't remember
Dodge
viewing-
Charger or
Literally, it
something?
was like a fucking 5-second clip is what I saw.
Oh,
Like, it was,
no, there's a longer video of that, and it's from
I know
that.
there's way more, but I'm ignorant on it. I haven't got into it.
Okay, yeah, there's the video of that. It's from the same thing, like the guy across the street,
Mm.
and somebody had took it and edited in, the little arrows. Here's the two guys talking,
Mhm.
and now they just moved out. Here's this car, like pretty much giving the signal and everything. And then after it happened, you see a car move in. Is like these are the guys pretending to not just do medical, but also give like the false narrative. So they were there instantly saying something else. Something else had happened.
Yeah, it was
Right?
self-defense.
Yeah. And then you have a guy standing next to the one recording. He's like, "Hey, you gonna give that to the cops? Like, you recorded everything. You need to like turn that in." He's like, "Yeah, I'm taking care of it." And you hear him again. "Hey, he recorded everything." Like snitching on the dude. Like,
Right.
"Hey, this guy recorded everything. You're gonna turn that in?" And the guy goes, "It's taken care of. It's taken care
Right.
of."
I did see that. So the guy in the Vice video, the interview, tried to say that he had a knife and a paintball gun, and that he said that because that was like the narrative after he was shot, and they were looking for him because there was a video footage of him earlier in the day during the like Trump rally of him having a knife and a paintball gun, and so in the Vice interview, the guy that murdered him said. This was self-defense. He had a knife and a paintball gun, and
Did they find a knife and a paintball gun?
he did
on him?
not have a knife and a paintball gun.
Oh, kind of hard to
And
claim
it's
self-
hilarious because all the media is trying to, agree with him about how it is clearly self-defense. He had a knife and a paintball gun. Well, the guy had a fucking actual gun on him.
Yeah.
It was holstered. He had a gun on him. He had a baton, and he had mace. And the guy knew that he had been stalking him, and he was verbally threatening to kill him. And so he honestly, very clearly didn't take it as a legitimate
Serious
threat.
Yeah.
So he had mace in his hand. And the guy apparently shot the bottle of mace and then shot him in the head.
Jesus.
That was the breakdown I saw of it. But I have not done a deep dive on it at all.
It's unbelievable the chaos that's happening right now.
It's very sad.
Did you see the
And-
video of the, I guess it was supposed to be Proud Boys running down the one guy and just like sitting on top of him, smacking the shit out of him for a little bit?
Mm-mm.
There's a video.
There's a few videos out there. There's so many videos. Now here's the thing: just because there's a lot of videos doesn't mean this is happening widely across the United States. These are happening in not controlled areas, but basically
That's a side
It's
effect.
concentrated.
That's a side
concentrated
effect of
areas.
everybody having a little camcorder
Yes.
and computer in their pocket.
in their pockets. You can record it and then post it on media, and of course everybody's going to watch it. People people are so addicted to their phones and watching certain things that they can't help but want to watch chaos just through it. It's just a natural thing for some people, and then they have to, like, you know, share it with somebody else, and some people have opinions on it. And of course, everybody who watches these videos is an expert. Every single fucking one of them. They know exactly what happened. I saw the video. I know exactly what happened before, after. It was a racist movement. They shot him because, you know.
It doesn't matter that the video started halfway through what's going on, and they're clearly talking about something that happened off screen. I seen everything that happened, and that person was clearly in the wrong.
It happens in, I don't know, fucking Minneapolis. It happened in Minneapolis, but I live in fucking, I don't know, Arizona, right? I'm an expert. I saw the video. I saw that 3-second clip. I know exactly what happened. It was definitely racist.
8-minute clip.
Sorry. But
that one was pretty rough.
It was, well, I wasn't speaking that one.
You said Minnesota.
Well, that's one of the concentrated areas. There's Chicago, there's New York, there's plenty of other places. I wasn't speaking about that
Kenosha.
specifically. But just because one act of violence doesn't mean that we can go ahead and do 100,000 more. And so, like, there's one video, and I can't remember the guy's name. I wanted to look it up before I actually started to talk about this one. But the other video of everybody fighting back, right? So everything seems to be getting suppressed on the other side. You see one end of the argument, right? Of people claiming, you know, racism, that Nazis are running the world, and there's white privilege and whatever bullshit. And there's 2 points I want to bring out of this. The first point was they're fighting back, and all you hear is one guy screaming on the video. There was a video that the Hodge twins posted, and so did Harris Jr. I can't remember his first name. Anyway, they're conservative people. They have podcasts and stuff like that.
I love that we watch conservative people, but different conservative people.
Yeah. Yeah, like I watch a few different. I don't watch everything, but every once in a while I dabble. I hate social media, so I don't even really go on it anymore, and I don't pay attention to it anymore. It's just
I cut everything out other than Instagram a while ago, and I really don't like political shit on Instagram.
Yeah, it's
gun stuff and dog stuff, and that's it's like an engineering page that I like.
Titties?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Occasionally. The so one of them was the guy was arguing with Trump supporters.
Sorry, the chive.
And
it's titties and positive news. That's why I like the chive.
And one of the guys who happens to be black as well is yelling back at them, and he's very educated on everything, and he's trying to tell them, and they're like, and he's like, what book, what media, what source, where did you get this information from? And then they were yelling at them saying, I can loot. I'm going to fucking loot everything anytime I want because this is stolen land. I'm going to fucking do it whenever the fuck I want.
Right.
What?
That's the mentality.
Because it's stolen land, you can loot?
I'm glad that you brought that up because there is something that, don't get me wrong, there's a very tragic history with the Native Americans and, like, first people coming here, and even after a few generations, like trying to establish the government here, right? Some shit happened. It wasn't one-sided, right? There was a slaughter on one side.
Racist.
Yeah, fuck
racist.
you.
Racist.
Yep, absolutely. There was a slaughter on one side, and it tended to respond with a slaughter on the other, and that's usually how the encounters went.
It was a genocide.
You ever had
a genocide? They had smallpox blankets.
The reason why I'm racist. The reason why I wanted to say that. The reason why I wanted to say that because I can't remember the fucking clip, but I've seen it a few times where it's like the guy from the army sitting down with the chief is like, yeah, but who did you steal this land from? Because this land's existed for longer than your tribe has. You're not the first tribe to settle it. Who did you kill to take this over?
Yeah, but now that they lost, they're just one people.
Yeah. But there's
just
this
Native
there's
Americans.
This thing that happens where people refuse to acknowledge
they grouped them all together.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's this thing that happens where people like refuse to acknowledge that people killed people since there have been different groups of people. Like since one group formed a group and they're like, hey, fuck all those people over there, and you're like, yeah, fuck those people. Let's go kill those people and take what they have. That's happened. It doesn't matter who the group is. Like as long as one group lives next to another group, if they don't like each other, they tend to fight each other.
That book I turned you on to, Tribe.
Yeah.
He does a really good way of talking about both all the positives and beautiful things.
There's very positive things that can happen
that go along with living in a tribe mentality and living within.
That's kind of the same thing that happens with good religion.
The negative that comes along with tribe, which was very like everywhere within the Native American tribe system, which was rampant, fucking stealing people,
jealousy, and
intense torture.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of really fucked up torture. If they were,
I mean, just
an
scalping
opposing
alone is
tribe.
pretty fucking
Oh, they'd skin people alive,
yeah,
hang them from trees.
So
fucking brutal. But that's
They
happened.
bring
Like, that's
up-
not something that Europeans brought to here. Like people
No,
were killing
that's-
people before Europeans got here.
And that's not Native
It's-
Americans. It's literally fucking tribes.
Everybody.
It's built into humans.
Everybody. People in
Sorry.
Europe did that. People all across the world have done that, and it just astounds me that people like. I don't
It's
know
'cause
how you
they-
can't think that.
I don't know what to call it other than like the underdog mentality. It's because they lost that it's easy to like romanticize.
You know what
about
it
them.
kind of reminded me of is like when someone had to point out is like, you know, certain civilizations have had kings. It wasn't just Europe, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of fucking assumed that.
Right.
Like I kind of assumed for a long time, like it wasn't just Europe that had kings. Maybe everybody had their version of it. Like, how do you need to be told that? Like, you're not
there's
thinking
always a
somewhat
system.
yeah,
There's
you're not-
always a
You're
system,
not thinking
yeah.
for yourself enough that maybe
Generally,
there's some
people in
type
power
of
wanna-
hierarchy,
More power.
and maybe the person in
unchecked
charge
power.
of that has some type of name that sets them apart from somebody else.
Tribe mentality. There's always going to be a leader.
Yeah.
It doesn't, if it's a president, a king,
A chief doesn't fucking
a chief,
matter.
a fucking
lord
religious
of the
lord,
land.
whatever. There's always a leader. There's always somebody that's going to be on top. You can never have this society of like everybody's completely equal across the board because some people are still going to feel inferior or superior to another person. Now, backtracking a little bit, when you're talking about they're bringing up that past, right? That one specific thing where this land was taken and there was a genocide,
Stolen.
right? Or sorry, stolen. It was stolen, right?
Stolen, Fred.
Well, you ever had an ex-girlfriend that every time you guys got into an argument, she always brought shit up from the past? You ever had that? You know, at least know what I'm talking
Every
about.
fucking time.
So
you get
like,
in an argument.
you get into an argument, it's like, remember that shit that happened 5 fucking years ago, whatever. Like,
No.
okay. Well, the thing is they only bring up that one point, right? Same thing with this. They bring up the one point about this land is stolen land and yada
generally
yada
how you
yada.
know they're wrong.
That happened 200 some odd years ago before our time, that all they know about is in the books. They don't know exactly what happened with certain things. Obviously, we have to trust the books because that's our history and
That's
they're
what we have.
They're written by educated people, but you weren't there. You don't know. What we're trying to do is basically learn from the past.
Dr.
Hold
D
on,
has
hold
a
on,
problem
hold
with
on,
the
hold
book.
on, hold on. I got a point here.
Okay.
Hold on. So basically, you know, they're looking at that and they're basing that off of their rhetoric, their thought process now, and then they want they want to reprimand people because of something that happened a long time ago that has nothing to do with us personally.
Yeah.
There's nobody alive right now that was alive when America was first built or was first taken over or first colonized. There's nobody alive right now that was in that fucking time, so that it's not any of their fault. But here's what I have a problem with. If you're going to bring up that past, and going along with what you said, people have been killing people since the beginning of people. That was where my point was going to go with, is if you're going to bring up that past, then let's go ahead and go over all
How far back do we
of the
go?
fucking past, because
What-
that's all that happens in our
Yeah.
fucking world.
If that's what bothers you, is that one group of people killed another group of people, and that bothers you. Okay, one group came in, colonized an area, either killed, enslaved, or sold off everybody in there. That bothers you. And yes, at society as it is now, that's bad. But if that bothers you, how far back do you want to go? Because as soon as people started spreading
Exactly.
out,
Exactly.
when they ran into other people,
Exactly.
it was are we about
But
to
I
kill
also
these
would
people?
say that that's not really an accurate portrayal of what happened in America. If you're going to talk about came in, killed and sold people,
No,
Well, I'm just saying that in general.
That's-
That wasn't a description of what happened.
but that's my point. Though, is that in general that is what happens.
Oh
in,
yeah.
in general, in all of human
It's-
history,
No,
Command-
when you take
command and
over a
conquer.
people, when
Yeah.
you take over a people, those are your people.
This
What do
is
you
mine.
want to do with them? You're going to sell them? You're going to kill them? What was it? The Aztecs? Like, would they take
Dude.
over people that use them for human sacrifice and shit?
but you can do that with every society. There's still societies. There's still cultures.
Oh, you
there's
mean-
still communities of people that are still doing it right fucking now.
Oh, you mean like the open slave market that exists
Yes.
over in the
Think
middle?
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
where they just
The human trafficking
Yeah, they
that
just
still
kidnap people and sell 'em?
exists.
thank
Why?
you, Hillary Clinton.
Why is a fucking piece of shit? Why is a piece of shit criminal got, you know, that was blatantly obviously wrong, that got shot? You're fighting for that one fucking person, but you're not gonna. But why is that getting more news than the 100 some odd kids that have been found that were in the
Oh,
sex
yeah.
trafficking ring?
Yeah.
Why are they getting? Why is this fucking piece
No
of
one
shit
gives a
getting
shit.
more news than the kids that were saved? Why aren't the kids important?
because that's a win.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a like. Why
You're
is it?
racist.
Go ahead. That's if that's what you get out of this because I care about the kids more than that one piece of shit.
Yeah.
Then there's a fucking
there's
Be
problem.
shot in the back 7 times. You're a piece of shit.
When you
Yeah,
put
okay.
together all the kids, wasn't it like 200 something kids? Because it was 100 something in one cat and one thing.
There's
and then
30
so many in another one.
I'm seeing bits and pieces of it.
So many fucking kids have been saved from a horrible
Which is
situation
what?
that would have only gotten worse.
Which is what? Slavery.
yeah,
People being sold for that shit. How about genocide still happening in countries right now where fucking in the Middle East there's literally crowds of people killing each other just because of based off their religion. How about what's happening in fucking Africa? There's still fucking race wars over in Africa, or not race wars, but cultural wars, and there are people that are doing mass genocides of people because they don't want to follow somebody.
I don't know of anything going on right now, but I do know about the Uyghur situation in China.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Yeah.
I mean, there's okay, maybe I'm a little bit off on a few years, whatever. Not,
That
but
was
drug
Chinese,
lords and gun lords are still there,
Right.
And they're still literally
Still
destroying mass people.
very unstable,
Yeah,
chaotic and violent for sure.
Well, the open slave trade still exists.
China
That's what was that? North Africa, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
China is still trying to take over more land. That they're even making their own land.
Well, no,
in ports.
they were like kind of doing the same thing the Nazis did with Jews. They were doing that with Muslims.
So
yeah, it's the Uyghurs.
yeah, that's what he's talking about. So like for instance,
Is that a its own thing, or I thought that was like a section of Islam?
Uyghurs
or
are
the people that follow.
Uyghurs are basically Middle Eastern people in China. So China is this
Okay.
big fucking empire.
So not specifically Muslim, but people from.
Well, no, they're Muslim, but
Okay.
they're Muslim Chinese.
I got you.
They're Chinese that are born in China. It's been part of China for a long time, but it's also part of the Middle East, and they've also been Muslim for a
So
long
because
time.
they're not the same thing as the rest of China,
because they're culturally
they're
different.
cleansing that part.
Mhm.
Okay.
and they want to conquer more land.
Yeah.
That is still on the conquest because there's so many people there.
South China Sea.
Yeah,
Hey,
so-
this is not land we own or sea that we own. So we're going to build islands and say
That's
that they're
where I
land.
was going with
Yeah.
it. That's where I was going with it. So what they're doing is they develop machines that are able to basically make an island. They're taking ground from the bottom, filtering it back on top, packing it on top, and building landing strips for air. So they're militarizing those islands. They're not coming out and saying it, but it's been proven that they're militarizing them by
Through the
turning
actions,
into
you can
runways.
determine
Yeah.
that this is what you're doing.
And they're putting them in between countries because of they're saying self-defense kind of thing. Oh, this is for our defense. Okay, well they're all aimed towards places that they have been known in the past to try to take over. Okay, like for instance, Philippines. Right, Philippines has been on. It still is on China's mind about trying to take over again. The reason why they can't take it over is because we have it protected. Right, but
if China goes to war, I feel like it's guaranteed that South Korea, Japan, and the Philippines are all united
Against China?
against China.
Oh, Japan's been. Japan fucked with some Chinese people back in the day too, so I think they're all down for doing it again.
I mean, and it's not like the Philippines have great respect for the Japanese.
No,
Um,
but I guarantee you to fuck up China.
Korea is just finally starting to get along with the Japanese.
Mhm.
Like their relations are like it's really common spot for both countries to go travel to for vacation and stuff. But
if the option was,
I don't America even out of it. I think that the other Asian countries would unite against China.
yeah,
I
can see
want to
that.
do.
You still have to have North Korea in the fucking mix. So
I want to do some more research
Maybe
because
that's how we get rid of North Korea.
I think one of the quietest countries that used to be one of the most powerful countries is they're super quiet. Like I feel like there's nothing happening, but I feel like there's a lot happening, and I don't know anything about it. I want to do some research on it. Is Mongolia?
yeah,
It's a huge portion up there.
yeah.
I don't know how much of it is inhabited. I don't know what.
No,
it's
it's like Montana. If Montana was a country,
Yeah, but like
There's a lot of land,
there's
but
a
there's not a lot
lot-
of people doing anything.
there's a lot. There's
they
a,
ride
there's a
horses
huge
still.
landmass over there.
yeah,
You know,
it's cold and shitty, and there's mice. They eat field mice and shit.
apparently you've done your research. I have no fucking clue. I remember them. The only thing that I know
talking
about.
out of my ass. I mean,
He's just making shit up right
I
now.
just like it always reminds me of like the like before Genghis Khan, the steppe people were known for being like the poorest motherfuckers ever, and they like how poor they were is that they would have to stitch together rat pelts to be their clothes.
Dude,
'Cause
with,
that's all
with
they
the right
fucking
leader,
had.
and this has happened throughout history, right? The right leader, shit happens. Like with the right motivation, the right propaganda, the right fucking leader, the right
Also
person
the right
to do
kind
it.
of technology too.
Well,
Yeah.
technology is always
you
going
look
to
at
be
the
a thing.
Mongolians, like the way that they came up with how to make their bows,
Mhm.
and then the culture revolving literally from like the age of 2 on of riding horses. Everything was totally solely around horses. It was like
From early
light
on, you're going to learn how
speed,
to be a tough motherfucker.
light years ahead of how anybody else was fighting
Yeah.
anywhere in the world at the time. That's why they
Tactics.
fucking beat everybody they went to.
Yeah,
Because they could
They
shoot
started
arrows
when they were younger.
They could shoot arrows like trick shooters. They could fucking, swing around on either side, go underneath the horse and fucking shoot arrows. Their bows could launch arrows further than any bows that anybody had at the time, and they could outmaneuver anybody. So they could outmaneuver them, they could outshoot them, and they could shoot further than anybody.
Is he still talking out of his ass?
He might
No,
not be.
that
No, you think
feel
this
like-
is real?
This
He's
is
got a
fucking-
lot of confidence.
He was
in what
just
he's
talking
saying.
about eating
He's
field
got a
mice,
lot of confidence.
and
in
now
what
he's talking
saying.
about like the bows and shit.
well,
Well, the field mice thing wasn't it. It was that there's nothing going on there.
it's fucking
that was
Montana.
talking out of his ass.
It's fucking Montana.
That's yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just it was just a thought. I guess.
It
I
made it
don't-
sound like there's
I've
20
never-
people that live in Mongolia. That was him talking out of his ass.
One of the things that keeps getting me like pissed off, like my current like where I'm at in life, is I always revert back to Alexander the Great and how old he was when he conquered most of the known world.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me. I think about it every time. He was
Why, are you
26
mad
years old.
that you
He
haven't
was-
conquered
Yes.
Canada by now?
He's 26 years
Okay,
years
but
old, conquering most of the known world.
When did he die?
And I'm in my fucking 30s,
When did he die?
and I'm not rich or.
When did
or-
he
What did
die?
your dad give you?
Huh?
What did your dad give you?
Yeah, that's a good question too.
Because Alexander the Great's dad gave him the ability to do that. He gave him the greatest army in the world, prepped to invade. When his dad died,
So you're saying that it's not my fault, it's my dad's fault? I'm going to call my dad right now. Like, damn it, Dad, I could have conquered the world.
Why the fuck didn't you give me an army?
Where the fuck was my army?
I could own the Philippines by now.
That's why I think Genghis Khan is like. It's weird to admire either of those people because really they're
They were
mass,
mass murderers, yeah.
They definitely were.
Mass
But
murderers,
Genghis
they
Khan
held-
was a mass murderer that came from fucking nowhere. Like he really didn't like. There was no
Surprise, bitch.
right. There was nothing that was like prepared. Like Alexander the Great's dad had spent his whole life preparing to go to war, built these fucking armies, had innovated their tactics and their weapons, and was primed to literally go invade when he just up and died. And then his son took over and went to war.
Mm.
Genghis Khan just kind of fucking united some tribes.
Just
and
kind of
went
looked
and-
at, hey, you want to go take some shit?
I mean, they're the Vikings of Asia.
Yeah,
They
just
literally
showed
were
up
like,
to another tribe and be like, listen, I can kill you, or we can hang out and go kill those people.
let's
Oh,
go
you wanna go do
fucking.
that?
we can go rape
He
their women,
united all
stab
the
them.
steppe people. Like
Yeah.
the Mongolians, the people of the steppe, like they all had fucking nothing. They were all poor as shit.
Yeah.
And because they were worthless do-nothings, they didn't build anything. So they said, all right, well, let's go fucking kill these
Racist.
people that are
Racist.
building shit and take
Racist.
their stuff.
Well,
So,
the reason why we got into
He
this
murdered
conversation,
10 million people and fucking raped all of China.
What
Sorry.
was the number that he significantly altered the amount of people?
He altered the carbon footprint.
Yes.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
how many people died and how many people were supposed to be a descendant of him.
Because
Well-
of how many fucking bitches he raped, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
yeah, they're he definitely altered the.
They
carbon-
had to kill 10 million people by hand. Like they had fucking they lined everybody up and like each soldier is like, all right, I need you to give me 150 ears. And so they'd fucking chop someone's head off and then fucking cut the right ear off and then add it to the collection and go and they just had all their soldiers go out and do that. Fucking insanity. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. He has, I think, a 6 or 7 part series. Every part is 4 hours long.
His podcast,
really
yeah, his
fucking
things are
good.
fucking long, but
Really fucking good on the Mongolians.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The reason why we got into this was because we're talking about
Montana.
the past. Montana. They want to keep bringing up the past.
Are you worried about Montana attacking?
Dude, Mongolia is the Montana of Asia. That's what I'm saying.
My question is how come people like what it is our country right now is based off of trying to make as many people happy as possible. The government, at least, that's what they're trying to do. Promises so that way I can get into power. I'm going to promise you a bunch of fucking shit. and then get into power, and then I'm gonna fucking rob, steal, and cheat and shit like that. That's most politicians that are going there. That's why we have.
A lot of them are doing it.
Yeah.
It turns out that what they promise actually sucks, and it costs a bunch of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It
someone's
can't
like,
really be done that easily.
someone's like, somebody made the great idea of, I think that, people have to wear seatbelts, and like, all right, I'll make it a law. And then they made it a law, and now they're happy. And now it's like, okay, now I have to fucking do something. It's taking away more freedoms. Well, my question is how come people can't see that we're better now than we were 50 years ago? Why can't we see that things have gotten better? Yes, okay, there's a past, but at least we're willing, and we have been as a culture changing. Why is that not? Why can't that be
Nostalgia.
considered?
Cars
Nostalgia.
cost more.
Yeah. People look back with fond memories of things that they didn't actually live through. You know?
But a lot of people that I've been seeing, like that, and a lot of people that I know I don't know personally like that, but I know of them. A lot of them are just people that have no drive or desire to do anything for other people. It's just all about, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon so that way I can get something free out of it, or get paid out for something, or get something out of it, like looting, for instance. Why is it they can't just take up their responsibility and making their own lives? Because I came from fucking nothing.
Yeah, but if you do that, that means that you're the one that has to make decisions about where you go in life.
It's about being
Who
lazy.
wants to do that?
It's about being lazy and
Who
having
wants to
no
do
fucking
that shit?
being lazy and having no fucking motivation to do anything for yourself. It's basically you think that other people owe you shit.
People do owe me things, Fred.
Fuck off.
Jordan Peterson shit. 12 rules for life.
12 rules for life.
Clean your fucking room.
Yeah. That was
Clean
that's one of them.
Yeah, clean your fucking room. His whole argument was almost everybody that wants to try to go fucking revolutionize the whole world, their personal lives are a complete mess.
Are complete trash. You can fix it yourself, but you have to want to. Don't blame other people for your fucking problems. Blame yourself and if your situation.
What's happening
So
in your
if you
situation that you can cut out that might fix your situation?
If your parents lived like shit and decided to live like shit, had kids, and then your parents also took along with that and lived shit, you can change that around by just using
sleeping in trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I came from nothing, right? I'm not like everybody else. There was definitely people that were far worse than I was.
Dad.
Does your dad listen to this?
But I don't even know who listens to this anymore.
There's like 2 people in Mongolia that's going to be real pissed.
Oh, the sons of bitches.
But basically, like I had made a lot of bad decisions as a child that could have probably fucked my entire life up and probably been in the same boat. I might have been marching with Antifa, who knows?
Yeah.
But at some point in my life, I made a decision to do something about my life, and it changed. Now I'm not rich, but I'm also not sleeping in fucking trash.
Is that when you became friends with Chase? Is that what turned everything around?
No, it wasn't him. Actually, because of me changing my life and developing and becoming the man I am today, is the reason why me and him ended up becoming friends. Because I don't think if I did that, we would ever be friends.
Yeah.
like literally our first altercation between me and Chase was literally we were both complete dickheads to each other, and then we were like, all right,
surprise!
I guess you're cool.
Surprise!
Probably more than anything.
Oh my god!
U.S. Marine Corps.
Yeah, listen, this is pretty much what it was. Marine, yeah. Navy, yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then it was like, and then he looked at, I looked at him and I was like, "You gonna fucking do something?" Because we were like doing something at the job, and he was like, "What?" And he like climbs up at the truck. I was like, "You heard me?" And he's like, "All right, well I'm up here helping you then, motherfucker." And then we became good friends. Yeah, it was literally us both being complete assholes to each other, and then like neither one of us backed down, and then that was it. And we're still doing it till today.
Yeah,
10 years later, we're
it's
still
a
fucking
huge
assholes.
pissing match between the two of you.
It is. There's a huge pool full of just our piss.
Huh?
Yeah. But anyway,
When you guys said that, I just imagined like leaning back, trying to get the bigger arc.
I'm climbing on top of a chair.
Anytime the two of them are talking, just imagine that. And that's what's going on.
Like, trying to push it out.
Like I'm not done either.
Yeah.
But the point being is that my life could have been turned around if I continued the path I went, but I made a decision to want to change my life and better my life, and I did. And I'm still improving my life. I'm still learning. I'm still reading. I'm still developing a sense about the world and a pride. You know, when you don't have those things and you grow up basis just off of everything you live off of is in your fucking TV or video games, and your parents aren't really helping do much, or you don't want to listen to them because you think they're wrong, or the education system. There's just so much.
What's really weird?
Most upsetting. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say what's really weird is that the people that have done that that have come up not necessarily from nothing, but from nothing or from a not good situation. The people that have grown and expanded past that and don't feel like pandering to people say the same thing. It's like, well, why don't you just fucking work on yourself?
Yeah, just better yourself.
Just fucking change things that you could change.
Frustrating to me is that like
The ones that are pandering are the ones that's like, no, it's not your fault.
Hard. It's not hard to make it.
But it's also how do you make it too is another problem that I had. The second part of that whole thing before we get into that, the second part of that is, do you get it because of hard work or do you get it because you want to cheat and fucking steal?
Yeah.
Like all
That's
you
where
have
the
to
pride
do
comes
is
from.
give a fucking work hard.
Yep.
That's it.
That's all you have to do. Give a fucking work hard.
You and I are not rich men,
Nope.
but we live good, comfortable lives.
Yeah.
We live good fucking lives.
And it wasn't given to me. Not one fucking bit of it was given to me.
Okay, but
What I do find
everybody
funny
can
is,
have it.
What I do find funny is somebody in the same age bracket is like, nobody in this age can do it. I'm like, I'm your fucking age.
Yeah, like I'm fucking doing it.
What are you talking about?
Right, like it's because you're a piece of shit at everything you do. You half-ass everything and want to fucking go.
That's
You don't want
that's
to
part of
work.
it.
Like
Half-assing.
Since you gave up before you started.
Find something you give a shit about, and then do it.
Like when I let's go.
This job sucks.
Let's
okay,
go
well,
back-
you fucking took it.
Exactly.
All of them suck.
They all suck. Working sucks, but we do it.
I mean, I don't know.
Get one you like. Get one that you could deal with the suck. But all of them are going to suck in some way.
Right. Everything's
you're
a
always
job.
You're always
Yes.
going to have a boss or a manager or
That's why
somebody
call it a
above
job.
you and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's not, yeah.
So working on that as well. It's the mentality of people based off of that. Your lazy piece of shit kind of thing was like, let's go off the old job. I'm not going to say obviously what it was or whatever not, but working at the old job, I would take initiative. Right, learn this word, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. Initiative and do something while I'm.
I don't know if
cleaning
anybody
it-
that listens to this needs to take initiative.
I know they don't.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
they
they'll
already
stop
got
listening.
their fucking lives together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't like us.
Cleaning and doing, taking initiative. Nobody had to tell me. I'm cleaning and everything.
Well,
While
there's
I'm looking-
downtime. There's something
while
that
I'm
needs to be
looking
done.
through the glass at somebody on their cell phone.
Yep.
Just texting. They could help me get it done faster, but no, they decided that person is the person that complains more.
Yeah.
Take initiative. All right. Self-pride, self-worth. Be valuable.
Yes.
Okay. Study, train hard, be dependable.
Yeah. Be worth not firing.
You know what?
Yes.
So there's been people I've worked with over the years that are kind of pieces of shit at the job I'm working. And that can be okay.
He's talking about me the first time I was there.
If
Yeah. Now.
I just complained a lot.
if when they're being pieces of shit, it's because that's like their side thing that's in the way of what they were really wanting you to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like if
This is what's paying the bills so you can live your dream, and this is why you're mad.
right. Like
Okay.
I don't love that, but at the same time, I get it. Like,
Kind of understand that.
right. Like
You're not where you want to be. You're kind of stuck here right
you're
now.
there to be there to
Yeah.
make sure that you get a consistent paycheck.
So
but
you
you
can
do
work
have
on
a
your
passion, and you are working your ass off. It's just not while you're on the fucking clock at where you're currently working. That's totally fine. With
And that's
me.
frustrating, and it's understandable why it's frustrating.
But I can't stand the people that don't do anything to better themselves,
Mhm.
and they don't do anything at home to
Mhm.
work any like they just watch video games or movies or drink and smoke pot or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
This
is
all I wanna do.
fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with drinking or smoking pot. Even I don't give a fuck. Like, have a passion and go
If
after.
that's all
it.
you're doing
Exactly.
in life, you can't be surprised if all you do is drink and smoke pot that you're not going to achieve
Get
anything.
anywhere, right?
The
Like you're saying, there's nothing wrong with that. If all you want to do is work your
Fucking
job and
Joe
have
Rogan
fun,
Smokes pot.
Yeah.
And he's
Very
one of the most
successful.
successful people on
Very
the fucking
successful.
planet.
but if all you want to do is drink, have fun, and then work a job to pay for that, okay, but you can't be surprised if it doesn't get you anywhere.
right, it's a meaningless life.
Yeah.
but the flip side to that,
Because the guys that you see that are famous for doing that did things to get famous so they can do that.
Right.
the flip side to that is also the control and power aspect of things too, though. So you've got people that are like, I need you to do what I tell you to do, but I'm not going to follow behind it because I'm more important than you.
Right.
So a lot of our leaders, and especially in government, like for instance, I think it's
Fucking government.
so
Talk about regular ass jobs.
perfect example of it was the whole Nancy Pelosi shit where she was in the hair salon. Now you may think it's a very minuscule thing.
They owe me an apology.
You may think it's a very minuscule thing. What, she was getting her hair done, so what? The reason why I think it's so much of a bigger issue, and it should open people's eyes, and I think this should be a really big fucking issue, is simply because she literally, at that moment in her life, literally said, fuck all the other businesses. Fuck your livelihood. Fuck you getting paid because I wanted you to close the business. Fuck this fucking virus. I want you to fucking literally blame everything on this, whatever not. But me, no, I'm more important. My hair is more important.
What was all the memes that went out that people were protesting so they can get their hair cut?
Yeah. And there's people that there was hair salons that were getting arrested because they wanted to keep...
people on the right were getting made fun of because they wanted to get their hair cut. And here's Nancy Pelosi
old ass,
getting her hair done. And everyone's like, man, maybe she was set up. I don't know.
And then her excuse, instead of going...
it's not a problem.
And so, yeah, it wasn't a big deal for her. And, she definitely got set up because they can accommodate her or whatever.
Like I said last time.
Fuck off.
Like I said last time, what happened when this whole thing first started? Trump was like, hey, maybe we should not, granted, he's not a great public speaker, and he's very much a troll, but he's like, yeah, I don't want anybody coming here. Let's cut off some travel.
Yeah.
That's fear-mongering. He's just trying to scare
racist.
you.
I'm going to Chinatown and eating.
Hey, guys.
And now they're saying
come
he didn't
down,
do anything.
come travel. You don't need a mask. Just come out, get out of your house, go to the movies or something.
Yeah.
And then here they are a few months later, not even a fucking year later, a few months later. He should have done more. I don't know why he didn't stop people.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened here.
And that's what bothers me too, is because it's just
and that's coming
based
from
off opinion.
That's coming from me, who's kind of believing, like, there was something that went around that you can kind of believe all aspects of the story, which is the virus deadly? Sure, it's deadly. Does it kill as many people as they say it does? No. I don't believe that. Is it being used?
What is it?
Is it being
100 days?
Nearly 200,000.
Yeah. Is it being used as a political thing? Yeah, I believe that. But it's also real. Like, you can believe all aspects of that. It's something that exists. It can kill people.
Yeah.
It's not as deadly as it is. And I absolutely do believe that, just like everything else, it's being used for a political thing.
Well, the power aspect that I was talking about was basis off
something.
I see it.
I got a clip ready.
Go
ahead.
So based off of what I'm saying, that is a lot of these people that are telling other people that they need change in this world have so much money that they can literally support.
No, it doesn't fucking matter.
The same lifestyle that they're living to like fucking 50 other families. That's how much money they have.
The people that say that shit aren't going to lose anything no matter what happens.
So they screaming for socialism. That means that they have to give up everything that they have.
What was the argument that Candace Owens just had with Cardi B?
That was great.
Hold on.
So you're crying for free college.
Let him play this because that's another thing I want to talk about.
Responsibility. So I said he's a weak leader. He doesn't take responsibility. He places blame on others. I think that that this salon owes me an apology for setting up. It was a setup. Leaders take responsibility. So I said he's a weak leader. He doesn't take responsibility. He places blame on others.
So
the funny part of that is blaming the salon kind of sounds like something Trump would have done. You know what I mean? That's 100%. Trump would have been like, "Nah, I didn't do that. They fucking set me up.
Was a setup.
They set me up."
Yeah. So
fake news.
Yeah. So that's way better.
That's a good point. That's a brilliant point.
Right? It's 100% what she just did.
Yeah.
That's perfect. The Candace Owens things, yes, that's another great fucking
Candace
thing.
Owens and Cardi B.
I
got
fucking
in a fight.
love Candace Owens.
I didn't think that's a
she's
sentence
a
I'd have
fucking
to say.
boss after this. I think she's going to be a great leader. I think in her future she should definitely get into politics heavier.
Yeah.
I like her mindset. I like how she is.
I
And
don't think she should be a politician,
Before
but
you
I'd
get
love to
too
see her
deep-
as like a fucking news anchor on Fox.
Yes.
maybe a news anchor, a journalist, even, and just
Some type of
Not
commentator.
necessarily a journalist because she's very biased, but if she could be a talking head.
Yeah.
You know, like, she should be like the fucking Chris Tucker, like the opinion news wrap up, not necessarily a
Before you
let's
get
start
too
from the
deep,
beginning.
let me
Let's
say
start
this
from the
because I
beginning.
need to go bathroom real quick too.
Well, you got a few minutes. You can fucking hold that shit,
Son of a
motherfucker.
bitch. What I was gonna say, I think it's fucking hilarious that Cardi B was saying, "Yeah, we need to hire or free education, free all this stuff." But hey, can you lower my taxes too?
right.
Yes. They literally said it blatantly. If we're going to do
How
this,
do you
we're
think
going to
that's
be
gonna work?
raising your taxes.
How do you think that's gonna work? Listen, if the
So
people at the
she's-
top,
she's an
dude,
idiot.
if the people at the
She
top
just
will
isn't
find
into
out and get out
politics,
of
man,
yeah.
that's not her fucking thing. That's what it's about.
The
She's
very
living her
beginning,
own fucking life.
Everybody knows that Cardi B interviewed Joe Biden, right? And Cardi B did a wonderful, not so wonderful job at doing it. She doesn't know politics. It's not her cup of tea.
True.
She thinks that it was important because they wanted to do an interview with her. What everybody's trying to tell her and what is the truth behind it is that they're using her for her followers.
Yeah.
But she thinks, oh, you want to talk to me? Absolutely. I'll interview. I'll
They
talk
don't
to
give
you.
a fuck about
He
you.
doesn't
They give
care.
a fuck about
He
the
doesn't give a
millions
fuck
so
about
many
you.
people
Listen,
following you.
17 million
Hold
is what they
on.
said.
If you don't pay attention to politics, it's so understandable to me to think that Joe Biden is pro-black community and Trump is racist and he's anti-black community. Because
even though Joe Biden literally wrote the law that put a bunch of black men in jail.
Listen,
and he's been in politics.
Okay,
he's been
the
in
94
politics
crime bill was massively supported by the black community at the time. So I think that's a really fucking disingenuous argument.
You can say that, but you can also argue that people have argued that kind of fired back on the black community. Like it was used.
It definitely had negative repercussions.
Absolutely.
But
it was used.
It's hard I think it's disingenuous to imply that he's racist.
Oh, yeah, that he intended for that? No, what I'm saying is that you can't argue that one was racist. Well, the outcome of one's work was
what I'm after is every news organization other than maybe 3 are pushing lies and strongly implying by selectively showing the truth about Donald Trump being racist. Almost everybody that's not really very politically savvy thinks it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't have any hatred by any means for Cardi B for fucking thinking that. Like, it makes sense to me. You're fucking busy living your fucking life.
It makes sense that you're going to follow
rap
along.
Songs like WAP.
Yeah,
and
you're going to follow along with whatever you're hearing. Whatever you're hearing in the background, you're like, okay, that makes sense. That headline. That makes sense
motherfuckers.
To me. Yeah.
Now back to my life.
Yeah. So I got shit to do, but that headline made sense. I'm gonna use that.
Candace Owens. So Cardi B was going after Candace Owens.
So Candace Owens went on the Ben Shapiro show, and Cardi B came up, and they talked about it, and then Cardi B responded on Instagram, and then or Twitter, and they had a few back and forths, and then there's some Instagram videos that are fucking gold. Both of them. Where their Instagram stories were gold. Sorry. I just want to set that up. I don't know where you were going to take it.
Basically, where I'm taking this is, I mean, basically in a nutshell is what happened, but Candace Owens, what she replied was great. Like, I thought everything that she said was great. She basically was like, listen, I'm not trying to dog you or anything like that. I'm actually trying to educate you. I'm trying to let you think and see that they're using you, but you don't see that. You don't see that they're using you, and this is not your world. But then she started getting real, like, hardcore with it. She, like, literally says, you're in my world now.
Right.
Okay. If we were having a rap battle, that'll be your world, but politics is my world. Okay. And you're in my world, so you need to respect that kind of thing. And then she was like,
it was specifically because Cardi B was trying to imply that Candace Owens was just trying to use Cardi B for, like, clout.
What I don't
to gain her views.
She's like, I don't need clout.
Right.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need to use you for clout or anything like that. And then at the very end, she was like, basically she was just trying to tell Cardi B, you need to educate yourself. If you actually truly care about politics, she didn't even say don't do it. She literally said, if you really truthfully want to be in politics and care about politics, you need to do your research. You need to study. You need to read. You need to look at what's going on and actually understand what's going on. And then she started talking about the taxes.
Right. How ridiculous of a statement that is.
Like, you want free stuff, but they called her out on wanting. She was mad about the 40% tax on the rich or whatever not, but the Democrats literally came out and said that they have to do like a 79% tax in order to get all these things done. So she's already mad about the 40% tax. What about the 79% tax? Did you ever think about that? So they're basically saying that she needs to educate herself a little bit more and stop thinking that she's like she's
like, I'm going to reach out to have my publicist reach out to your publicist and get you a signed copy of my book. So
Did you see what she signed?
Yourself.
Did you see what she signed in the book? She goes, I'm going to sign the book for you, a copy for you. I'm going to send it to you so that we can educate yourself in politics. On the inside of the book, I think, don't quote me on this.
I mean, I guarantee that's going in the trash can, but
yeah,
go ahead.
But it's somewhere along the lines of educated WAP is better than uneducated WAP or something like that. So I thought that was kind of funny and about that as well. But I mean, let's just face it. Like, you can't keep shutting people down. If you want your opinion to be free and you want your opinion to be heard and you want your opinion to be out there and you want your beliefs to go out there, you can't sit here and get mad about the opposite opinion.
But it offends me.
Fuck that.
But it offends me.
You can't sit here and say one thing and then try to fucking kill the other thing. That's not how our country works.
People don't take criticism very well.
No, they don't.
Besides
a lot of people get offended,
exactly,
and they get their fucking feelings hurt.
Freedom is freedom. You can't have freedom for you and not freedom for the people you oppose without it somehow affecting you at some point, especially if it's just something as stupid as a political difference.
Rap artists aren't normally known for their humble egos.
Well, I mean, no artist really is.
But in particular, I feel like rap plays into that. And so,
This is mostly boasting about your ego.
her
love
ego being bruised kind of makes sense. She'd have a negative reaction.
I love people that listen or at least write like music, including Cardi B, by the way. They write music, but then they want change, right? So they're like, I want to change. You know, we need to get rid of the crime. We need to get rid of the drugs. We need to get rid of this. We need to make it better for people.
I've never heard Cardi B say any of that shit.
Oh, she talks about, oh, yeah, I'm heard, that's sarcasm, right? I hope that's sarcasm. Or you just really never heard it.
I've never heard her say that.
Oh, she definitely has. No. She wants better things for the black community. She was definitely talking about how she wants the black community to be better. She's like, I don't know, we can think of some things about, helping the black community and stuff like that. She was saying
I'm
that
sure
in the interview.
that's
the talking point. It's nothing specific.
I've never heard her say anything
if
about
you're coming
drug
out with
crime.
If you're coming out, she talks about robbing people, robbing guys, and she definitely does that shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she
said
told
she did
stories about how she did it in the past.
Yeah. But my whole point is you can't sit here and have an influence on 17 million people and rap about your wet fucking shit.
I mean,
or rap about you're robbing people or fucking stealing or drugs and shit like that. But you want to make a change. If you're trying to make a change, then that kind of influence right there is bullshit.
Well, okay. Here's my stance on this. I don't think that the amount of followers that you have should dictate your actions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
you are who you are. It doesn't matter who's looking at you.
She got that way because of who the fuck she is.
Yeah, that's what made her famous, was fucking acting the way she acts.
Right, and
sure,
which is a ridiculous, like, fun character. That's
over
how
the top.
I am not like a rap connoisseur. She's popped up on my radar a few times, and like I've always enjoyed her as like
I know her
fucking
name,
ridiculous human
I know
being.
her name and how she acts. I've never heard any of her fucking music.
Yeah,
I haven't.
And it didn't upset me that she interviewed Joe Biden. You know what was the most upsetting is seeing her fucking hair in that Joe Biden interview. Look like business professional and green or pink or whatever. 'Cause she always has like crazy fucking hair.
Yeah.
And it was like I don't know, it's like she turned Latino for that.
The point that I'm trying to make though is you want to change, but you use your influence by talking about things that are against your change that you want.
You want the change, but you don't say it when most people are looking at you. Because when you put out a hit song, that's probably a good time to say, hey, maybe we should.
Yeah, but it's a hit song because it's not fucking being preachy.
Yeah. That's exactly
I'm not saying that everything has to change to preachy or anything like that, but you can't sit here and talk about robbing and stealing and crime and all this shit and you want things to change.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I'm indifferent on that too, because music is just music. Like people who
but
Eminem's never killed it. Yeah, but Eminem's never killed anybody, but he's rapped about it a lot in his music.
Even putting aside the influential side of things, like you were promoting it as it's something cool and good.
Yeah. With
that's basically what I'm saying.
Screw the influential side of things.
That's what I'm saying.
There has to be an understanding that what they're talking about in the music is almost like what you see with like graphic artists or really anybody else. Like that's a way for them to vent.
Like Johnny Cash didn't shoot someone in Reno.
It is still.
He wasn't a boy named Sue.
It is still.
But it's a story that's being told, right? There's something that he's saying that might trigger some type of response because it's happening to what people feel, but he's not telling you to go do it.
I'm not saying it is wrong for you to get.
Because you can say the same thing about a lot of metal work.
He's trying to get something out.
I'm not trying to say that being an artist or anything should be taken away from you. I'm not saying that it's wrong that you make music and say whatever the fuck you want. It's freedom.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you can't sit here and try to demand a fucking change and demand that something happens for the good when you're promoting the bad.
Yeah.
I guess I've never seen her make that demand.
She said it in the interview with Joe Biden. She says, "I want there to be changes in the black community," but she comes out with fucking bullshit ass music that talks about. I mean, again, you're an artist. It's freedom of speech, but you can't. If you want there to be a change, you can't promote that bad shit to be good.
If you want to do that,
to make that connection.
Yeah.
She's got to make that connection.
If you want to do that, that's probably a good time to turn around and go, hey, guys, this is just fucking music, right?
Yeah,
this isn't actually how we should act in society.
But that's also, I still don't think you should be able to do that either. You can't just sit here and come out, I'm going to make a song that literally tells a story about me fucking robbing somebody, murdering them, and taking all their shit and fucking partying it up and everything like that. Make a song about that, and then turn around and go, I want murdering to stop.
Hey, Fred, what do we do as a hobby?
What do you mean?
You're
talking about this right here?
No. One of the things we do
podcasts is
one of the things that you and I both did for a little bit, right? We actively went somewhere where we can attack another person. in a controlled environment.
Jujitsu.
Oh, jujitsu.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
like, I did not
Yeah,
fight
he's like,
anybody.
what the fuck are you
I'm like,
talking about?
that was a long time ago. You can't talk about this on the air. No.
We actively went to where you could train, right, to learn how to not just subdue. Like some of the moves are fucking breaking bones, choking people unconscious, but that's not how we act in a society.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, there's another reason for it. It's to be prepared in case you have to.
Sure.
But it's also a way to vent like a stress.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people look at music the same way. If it's aggressive lyrics, the people that listen to it aren't necessarily being, they're not necessarily being aggressive. So when somebody puts on like Slipknot, they're not thinking about fucking burning something down or going fucking nuts, but that the aggression in the music is helping to vent the aggression that they feel.
Some Slipknot songs still bring a smile to my face about how angry it is.
Right? Here's the thing.
But you see what I'm saying, right?
This wasn't supposed to be a conversation about me dogging music. That's not it. Because I listen to everything.
Of course. Yeah.
Hard metal, I listen to fucking gangster rap, I listen to everything.
The point that I'm making is that's true for her music, too. If she wants to rap about some stupid-ass shit, fine. But
if you want to fucking
on her
change,
side, she has to follow that up with, hey, guys, you should know we shouldn't act like this, though, right? That's just for fucking fun. But how we should actually act needs to be something.
I want to hear what you have to say, and I got something.
If you want something to change, you can't sit here and promote the negative in kind of like what he was saying in a good light.
The reason why I'm saying that because like RTJ, you ever heard like Run the Jewels, Killer Mike, and all that?
Yeah.
Like he's had lyrics about what was the one? The prisoners overthrown the prison, kill the. He's had lyrics about kill that police motherfucker type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also said he has family that are police, and that's probably a bad way to fucking act. That's just like an aggressive lyric to get out.
So, 1980s, gangster rap starts becoming a thing. 1990s is when it really blows up. Gang crime has been a problem for a while. Crack epidemic started in the 80s. And by the 90s, it was gang violence is all-time high. Gangster rap is huge. Is gangster rap huge just because gang violence was something that was already going on, or was there a connection there? Was it a cause, or was it an effect?
Or is there no correlation at all?
I don't think that anybody can make that statement.
No.
How can you make it? There's no correlation. There's shit going on in the streets.
I think it's the same thing with like protest music. Like certain bands that are known for making music that's Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
Right? Everything's a statement, kind of, right?
Sure.
So how did they get popular? Because at the time, maybe there was a lot of
made
statements.
really good fucking music, actually.
That too.
I don't know that it was their
independently, it was good, but also it was kind of tapping into something. So the reason why I'm making that connection is with the gangster music. Okay, so maybe that was a problem, but also it was kind of connecting to what was already there. And maybe it was making people, I don't know, hey, this is going on, and this music kind of reflects what's happening in society.
I don't know if
you see what I mean.
I don't know if my point.
I'm gonna shelf that for a second.
I don't know if my point is being made in this, because it seems to be misconstrued that I'm saying that you shouldn't make music about certain things like that. I don't think that's what I'm trying to go with. Because I've grown up on listening to all different types of music.
That's not how I took what you're saying.
Huh.
What I'm trying to say is, if you really want to get yourself involved into making a change, then you happen to be an artist of some sort, and in your art, right, your music, that's all you talk about is violence and drugs and shit like that, right, or something of that nature. I feel like if you're going to use your influence and that's how you're going to do it, you can't sit here. It's like hypocritical. You can't sit here and be like, I'm going to rob and steal, but I need to make a change.
I get what you're saying, that if you're talking about change, then your art kind of needs to reflect the change. But at the same time,
a vapid statement.
And I'm not talking about her either. Like I think
you're talking about people in general.
Another thing is, I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm just talking about her. No, that's not her rap.
In general, you're talking about.
She has rapped about it, and if you can blatantly look at the lyrics in the last fucking song she just made, like, it's not really professional.
Yeah, I was saying though is that you can have those thoughts and still make a quote unquote fun song that has nothing to do with what you're thinking. It's just something you wanted to put out because everybody you might have that side that you just wanted to make something that you knew would be catchy. And it's not necessarily the message you wanted to send, but it was catchy and you thought it would do well, and yeah, it made you a lot of fucking money, right? But at the same time, like you're saying, if the message you want is change, at some point you need to fucking maybe work that into your art.
So I bring it back to what I talked about, because I think this is an interesting topic that I've been working on in my head for a while, and I want to get your guys' feedback on this. NWA, you know, like all fucking Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E, like
Familiar with them. I grew up to that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we're all familiar with the fucking music. I don't think that you can deny that shit didn't inspire people to live that life.
No. Or at least the people that already live that life use that music as like their theme. They're like that's what they had to listen to.
Their soundtrack.
You don't see you know you can enjoy music from everything. Like I said, I listen to legitimately everything.
Well, I fucking listened to that music and I was not a gangster.
There's pandering music in every genre, right?
But if you're a black in the ghetto, you don't think that that's recruitment?
Here's the reason.
What do you mean recruitment? Like
you don't think that doesn't romanticize that life?
Oh yeah.
Make you want to fucking actively pursue that?
That's why I was calling that every genre has a pandering side, right?
That's what I mean. So that's what I mean by recruitment.
That's kind of rap's pandering, is that they're preaching like, just that side.
It
but
doesn't happen out of nothing.
Hold on. When you say
it's not just rap though. Let me back up because I don't want to keep on the subject of just rap.
Has it a lot too.
Rock has a lot of fucked up music in it too. Yeah. That where they
so
talk
does country.
So does everybody. Everybody has it in the genre.
I don't know. What can you make an example of, like rock music or country music? That
a bunch of drugs, bunch of drug use in rock, a bunch of violence and some rock too. Country, a lot of stuff that isn't played on the radio, absolutely has some stuff.
I mean, it's old, but the Beatles had tons of drug songs.
No, there's country artists that got a lot of radio play.
Drugs, but they didn't promote drugs in the music.
There's a lot of country artists.
A song named after LSD.
There's a lot of country songs that have artists that have radio play. But the next song on that album, something very racist that didn't get radio play, right? So if you knew the artist, you knew the type of shit they were making that didn't get on the radio.
Okay.
David Allan Coe is a good example of that.
Right.
But what I was saying before that, when you were talking about like rap possibly being, or not possibly being, yeah, I could see it kind of recruiting people, like wanting to live that lifestyle because the people they idolize are talking about living that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I kind of look at that as the same way as video games. Video games make people violent. People play video games so they go out and act on some aspect.
I think it's pretty different.
I feel like it could be talked about the same though. I get the idea that, and don't get me wrong, I get the idea on both sides of that.
Focus again on that.
Well, I'm trying into something else.
I'm trying to bring you into me.
Well,
we're going
we've
right
segued
where I
into something else
because I'm also not saying that. I'm also not saying that, video games make people violent is the same thing as music making people. I'm not saying that either. I was literally based this off of, if you want to have a positive opinion to do a change, then
your art has to reflect that.
You can't have a platform of violence and everything and then go all
you can't have some art or something that's just all violence or this.
I think that these people, I think the NWA are the kings of this motherfucker. Because all of those guys kind of say that they want to see positive change for the black community.
They do.
But they're fucking like the godfathers of bringing the black community into what I see as like a darkness, culturally speaking.
Like if you look at Ice Cube right now, like he's a family guy. Yeah. He makes family movies. He portrays a cop a lot of times.
Sure.
And Ice-T portrays a cop. Yeah. But they grew up saying fuck the police.
They are now though. Right?
Yeah,
they are now. Yeah. That wasn't what they were doing back then. So they've kind of...
I don't know. They might have changed their positions the last couple of years.
That's what I'm saying. But what I was talking about with that, like I get what you were saying. If you're saying you want to make a positive change, at some point your art does have to reflect that. Otherwise, you're just
platform. I'm going with platform more because I don't...
Well, no, even so, your art does somehow have to do that. If that's the message you're trying to send out and your music is a message and people listen to it, then at some point... your music has to contain that message, right? What I was saying with the video games and stuff, I can see that argument being made, but at the same time, I also feel like people who say that or blame video games for being violent, and then the people who blame their violent lifestyle on music that's not really.
So here's the difference.
You're already kind of not paying attention to what you're doing if that's what you're blaming. You see what I mean?
Slipknot and violent video games are different because it's violence for violence sake, or violence within a very particular realm. You could say that maybe
Like Quentin Tarantino
mobster
movies, over the top for a
could
reason.
be a parallel to what I'm talking about, but rap music in particular romanticized a life that bred violence. And it didn't romanticize the violence explicitly all the time. It did sometimes, but it didn't all the time. It was the fucking, like, the freedom and the money and the fucking feeling like you're a boss.
Yeah, but wasn't there also
And
a lot
with
of like
that, a lot of
There's
violence
truth
came
behind
with
that.
it.
There's truth behind that because there was a breaking point within my, like, for instance, my upbringing. There was a breaking point, right, where things changed in my life. Things happened within my family that caused things to kind of balance, a different way. And a lot of it was listening to that and wanting to be part of that crowd because it seemed like that was the coolest. They were the ones that were the people that listened to that and liked that kind of stuff. In where I was going to school at, for instance, they were the ones that were able to get girlfriends.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were the cool ones.
They were
Yeah.
the ones that were able to get, friends. They were the ones that if you needed somebody to get your quote unquote back, that
Right.
people would
They,
have your
they had
back.
a fucking
Yeah.
crew, man.
They had a crew like
tribe.
So there was a point in my life that I thought that was the cool way to live too.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like I'm going way off of what I was originally
No,
saying.
I'm totally disconnected from what you were
Yeah.
saying.
We're different topic.
So, but I mean, that's what it was, and that's the route I went, and then that literally evolved into being more violent, to being more against rules and regulations.
Once you're already in
or-
there, yeah. Once you're already kind of living that lifestyle, yeah,
and then drugs became a cool thing
yeah.
Right.
because drugs got introduced, and then you're like, okay, I want to be around this, and then all of a sudden, girls,
If you weren't doing drugs, then what are you doing?
yeah.
The fucking girls suck you off.
And
they're
then
into this shit.
and then girls did things for you for this kind of thing, and then you were with this crew, and then all of a sudden you're the cool guy, and all of a sudden girls pay attention to you. Why? Because the music that's hot right now is also depicting for girls to be into that environment too. So it literally
Yeah.
changed my life and put me involved. in the
I
same
think
thing.
my fault
So-
is I'm looking at it kind of through the lens of how you would look at it now.
My question
I
is,
think that's my thing because I'm looking at it like you would look at it as an adult.
I've
It's
kind
just
of
fucking art or something.
I've summed it up oversimplified in my head as like hedonism, if I could put it in a very like simplistically way. And I feel like maybe rap music that made hedonism cool and counterculture, which is why it's cool. It's because it's like against the appropriate thing that you're supposed to do. And we all kind of have that part of us that wants to be counterculture. Like, as far as I was concerned, counterculture was cool until it's actual culture. Then it's a nightmare and fucking awful.
Yeah.
But did that music really, was that the recruiting tool? Or was that just popular because the hedonism side of things itself is the recruitment?
A lot of music
Because like
too.
part of our fucking simple stupid ape brains like love the easy shit,
Yeah.
like the instant gratification,
absolutely.
like the fucking drugs of and the fucking like easy women, fucking whatever,
a
like
lot of
fast
things,
life,
fight,
easy women,
fighting,
easy thing, fighting,
getting in fucking fights.
a lot of things
Yeah.
with music
fucking
too.
driving reckless, drive fast in your fucking cars
Yeah.
because it's fucking awesome, bro.
A lot of things
Did
with
that
music
too.
too, and what I was talking about before when you're talking about like the crack epidemic and everything building up to that. A lot of times music just reflects society, so
Right,
it's not necessarily.
No, I totally
Yeah.
get it. I don't know if
And
one's
it's-
versus the other is
And
is the
it's
cause
not
of-
even like an intentional reflection of society. A lot of times it's record producers saying, "Hey, this is what's going on right now." We because the reason why I said that happened with a lot of metal bands. It's like, "Hey, this is getting popular right now. You guys feel like fucking
maybe some
doing
gay
this
ass
type of
bands you
music?
listen to, but the bands I listen to fucking just sing whatever the fuck they want to listen about.
there's a lot of people that got very famous pandering."
Okay, Stained is one. All right, I got it. Nickelback, got it.
Oh
No one gives a
my
fuck.
god, the guy who listens to songs that are like 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm sure you're partially right, but I've never given a shit about like mainstream
that was
poppy
one of the
bands.
things- that was
and rock has pop music.
Yeah.
Like there is pop rock.
There was a thing that I watched.
Mudvayne.
Yeah, there's a thing that I watched
Pop
a
rock.
while back, and it was talking about like trying to find a true.
Fucking hates me.
Yeah, trying to find like a true satanic
Uh-huh.
band,
Yeah.
and like a lot of them that popped up in the 80s and early 90s was kind of riding that wave of this is what's scaring people, and if you want to scare people and tap into that part
Sure.
of the people, we have
it's
to
about
act
the reaction.
this way.
It's not about the actual
Exactly. So
message.
a lot of it was just trying to, hey, let's put out this fucking message to scare people and get some people to listen to it. Tapping in to a
to the
vein
attention.
that people are going to want, that's hungry for something, right?
But I mean, everybody in the NWA, I don't think was like speaking out of something that they had no knowledge of. Like,
oh no, of course not.
they fucking saw drug dealers. They may not have been. Some of them were drug dealers, but most of them really weren't.
They just
weren't
grew up
really
in that area.
Right. They were around it.
Yeah, so when you grow up in
Most
the
of
area,
them
you're talking about
were
what you grew up
fucking
around.
Nerds that wrote poetry. And that's what it takes to be good at fucking music, when, especially when it's not been invented yet. When
Yeah.
rap's like in it, like Run DMC, you know, like fucking when rapping sounds like this and that and that.
Yeah.
This is the pace that we go to throw this beat down. That was fucking
Bro,
rap.
keep
This is so
going.
fucking
Keep
rap.
going. Oh
No,
my
stop.
God. Let me
That's
stop.
that's fucking Run DMC. You know,
That's
like
funny.
That's the 80s fucking rap that they had, and they fucking like totally revolutionized rap. They did it with like fucking really interesting, cool fucking storytelling. So there's a lot of, I mean, I still fucking love all that music. Like,
Yeah.
as much as it seems like I'm talking shit about it, I fucking love all of that
I think
shit.
they-
Easy-E is fucking awesome still. Like, I'm fucking
That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to misconstrue saying like I'm thinking.
oh, fuck this stuff.
it's
It
art.
just,
No,
it's
I
my-
felt like we were just
it's my-
dissecting a thought on it.
It's always
Yeah.
just my fear of like, is it something that I fucking really do love? Is it at least in some way culpable of
Maybe it
worsening-
had a blame on what happened in
worsening a
society.
community? But I mean, I
It's
think
hard to
I
say
think
what
it's
came-
easy to fucking say when you're not living in that area at that time.
Yeah.
Just like it's easy to say Joe Biden can be an implied racist because he passed the '94 crime bill.
Yeah.
Because at the time, people just wanted to stop getting fucking raped and murdered.
Yeah.
That their communities were falling apart. And so Joe Biden and a lot of other Democrats, including a lot of black leadership, were just trying to make a positive change. That's what that fucking
Well, I
crime
think it
bill
was that in
about.
his comments on segregation that people were calling him that.
Well, okay. What did he say about
Just
segregation?
something about not wanting a social jungle for his kids in school
He
because he was
wanted-
against
That-
busing or something.
That's a topic for another day.
Hold on.
ladies and
No.
gentlemen.
But I want to clear this up real quick. He was for not making it federal.
Yeah.
That he didn't want to take away the ability for individual communities to figure out when and where they should bus. That's what he was against. So, again, I feel like that's a very disingenuous statement to say that he was pro segregation, because he's been a senator for 40 fucking years and he was anti-segregation. Like,
yeah, that was
all the segregationists hated him because he was not a segregationist. And it's only from like the 2020 fucking viewpoint that you can try to construe things to be not.
that wasn't my argument though. That
No,
was,
no, but
I think Candace Owens said that in her rant.
Right. And that's definitely something that Kamala Harris was trying to put on him,
Yeah.
which is my frustration. It just seems disingenuous. And now that Fred's eyes are totally glossed over, let's fucking end this thing. Right? Is it time?
It's been time for a while.
Oh, okay. You can shut me down. Well, thank
It's
you
been
for
time for a
listening, you
while.
beautiful bastards. I appreciate everybody that listens. Feel free to hit us up. I am an asshole in real life, so
Very much so.
if you need verification, you can get that through Instagram. Clear
Such
malfunction.
a fucking prick.
Thanks for listening, Fred.
Appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hanging on with us through all this time. I hope all of you guys and your families are doing good. I hope the COVID virus isn't scaring you guys too bad like it is a lot of the world right now.
If you get it, I hope it doesn't get you too bad.
Yeah. Well, you could be like D over here and just go mow your lawn because that's all you really got done.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. I got it on fucking Saturday.
All right, guys. Everybody, take care.
Love you guys.
Hef? No, Hef doesn't get it. Say goodbye.
I just said love you guys.
No, that's it.
Hope everybody's doing okay. Love you.
Bye.
Have fun.
Bye.